Welcome, everybody. Really happy to be here. Another session, episode 8, if I'm not wrong, 7, I believe, of this sessions of skills and mindset. And now I'm really happy because the one that we're going to be watching today and we're going to be seeing today is a very, very special one. And I know it's going to help you guys with your business, but also break a lot of paradigms and thoughts and way of thinking, should I say, that we've acquired through our lives, right? So really important skills and mindset, how we get the proper mindset to acquire to apply the skills that we're acquiring along the way. So please pay close attention. This is short sessions. You guys know what we're doing. We're doing a series of progress in acquiring skills. The first one, and I want to know in the chat, please let me know, interact with me because this is pretty interactive and want to know how I can help you best. So let me know, guys, if you have watched all these videos that we've been recorded the past few days, the past couple of weeks. First one was network marketing, what it is and how it works. Then it was prospecting, inviting, edifying, facing rejection. That was a really, really good one that I recommend everybody to go ahead and watch. And then presenting your business. Let me know in the chat if you watched the previous sessions, and that way I can have a better idea on how to approach this one. But awesome. Today we are going to be talking about closing. All right, this is where we actually get paid. So I want you guys to pay really, really close attention because throughout all of this previous sessions, I've been telling you we are just showing, we're educating, we are giving value to our prospect, to our friend, to our family member, to whoever it is watching the video, the presentation, and our business. So we followed a bunch of steps that led to presenting the business. So now we're gonna learn what to do after the presentation, all right? Which is important. Now, it's something that I really wanna touch base with you guys. When your prospect sees the presentation, that's his prospect step one, all right? That's the first thing that they know about anything is they clicked on a link, they watched the video, they connected to a webinar, they went to a live event, and that's it. They just saw something. All right. Now is when we close. All right. Step one for the prospect, that's the one. For us, it's been creating a list, inviting, and so on, right? All these previous steps. So we don't want to end it at a presentation. That's the worst mistake. All right. A lot of people make that mistake. Ending everything after presenting the business. Like I'm gonna present and I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna wait for my prospect to contact me. Guess what? That's probably not gonna happen, right? Like I said, that's the prospect's first step, first exposure, first information that they receive. That's when they become aware that you have something. They become aware of your business. So we cannot leave it at that. And that's why closing is so important. So closing is obtaining a yes or a no. If it's a yes, we help them get started right away. If it's a no, we set up another meeting. All right, that's called follow-up. We're gonna be talking about follow-up this week. Okay, so if it's a yes, get him enrolled, get him started, and get him set up. If it's a no, then next exposure, right? That can be a trading call, that can be a mindset call, that can be anything. Okay, there's a lot of tools to follow up. We're gonna get that into that later on. Now, I want to give you some tips when it comes to closing, and this come in order. Okay, this is what do you do when you're gonna close. First, we got to talk about the attitude. Okay, the attitude, you got to be positive, you got to be excited. A smile always helps, right? If I'm excited about everything that I'm showing my prospect, my person, my family member, my friend, then if I'm positive about it, and also if I'm smiling, then I'm gonna create a better positive impact on that person. Then one of the best keys about selling, closing, everything in life in general is to ask good questions. Communication, good questions. If you ask better questions, you get better answers. You have a better idea about anything. If you have good set of questions, you have a good business. Okay, so that's really, really important to keep in mind. Keep the good questions coming and flowing. That's important. Now, agree with your prospects, all right, and relate to them. I'm gonna explain a little bit more about this, but once you've shown somebody the presentation, you're gonna go ahead and close. I'm gonna give you guys an example on how to close. But when you're closing, you're gonna have answers, you're gonna have interactions, you're going to have objections as well. So it's really important you agree with them and you don't make them feel like their point of view is not valid. All right. So agree with your prospects, relate to them, tell stories. Hey, I thought just like you, or when I got started, I thought this way, or, make them feel and let them know that you understand, all right, what they're going through. And something really matters is complimenting your prospect, okay? Compliment your prospect as well. Hey, congrats on seeing what you saw. Congrats on giving yourself the opportunity to learn something new. I'm really happy for you. And you ask for the money. That's probably one of the most important ones and the reason why I say asking for the money is one of the most important ones is because it's the one that people are afraid of the most. All right. Asking for the money, you got to understand, like we talked before, okay? You have a business, you own a business. When you go to the store, what do? They ask you to pay before you leave, right? If you go to the cashier and the person who's taking care of you, they don't go and, hey, come here, pay. It wouldn't make sense, right? You just expect that. By the way, you're actually going there and you're taking your wallet out. You're ready to pay because that's part of the process of buying and selling something. Buying, people pay. Selling, you receive the money. That's it. So it's a transaction. So when you're gonna close, you gotta know that you need to ask for the money. That's just a natural part of the process. If you don't ask for the money, you don't get it. You guys, if you have a job, you ask for you expect your payment to come every 2 weeks, right? End of the month or whatever. If you don't get it, you ask for it. If you have a business, if you work for yourself, if you're self-employed, if you own anything, you ask for money, and that's how you survive and that's how you eat. If you don't ask for the money, you won't get the money. If you don't ask for a sale, you won't get the sale. So we need to learn how to ask for money. All right. Now that's when objections come, and that's when you have to learn how to overcome objections. And I'm going to show you a couple tips, and we're also going to do a training about this as well. Now, come to an agreement, to an action plan, all right? When somebody signs up after you close the sale and the person is in, then you agree on creating an action plan where we set up the prospect and now, new team member for success, all right? We help them get the first win. Now, I'm gonna give you a closing example. Say I invited somebody. Let me see who we have in the chat over here. Okay, so let's say I invited Darren. All right, I invited Darren to my presentation or to a webinar or to watch a video. Let's say I invited Darren to a webinar that we had at 7 p.m. All right. Right after, and this is really important, right after the call is finished, I'm gonna call him and I'm gonna say, hey, wasn't that a great call? He's gonna say, yeah, it was great, and this and this and that. Okay. Now, I'm gonna ask him, what do you like best about everything that you just saw? And he's gonna tell me something. He's gonna tell me I like trading. I liked the multiple sources of income. I like the traveling. I like that you can create your own business online. Whatever he says, I'm gonna agree with that person. I'm gonna agree with them. I'm not gonna say if that's not exactly what I thought when I first watched it, like you see over here. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when I first watched it, right? I'm not gonna say that if I didn't think about that, but if I'm a trader and he likes travel, I'm gonna say, yeah, dude, that's awesome. There's a lot of people traveling in the world, making money with travel and so on, right? So always be authentic, always be yourself, don't lie. Just compliment, like I said, your prospect and validate their decision. All right, that's important. Okay, so I'm gonna tell them, hey, dude, that's exactly what I thought. That's exactly the opportunity that I saw. That's exactly how I got started. Let's go ahead and get you started. All right. And then I'm going to make a recommendation. Most people start with the Go package. All right. I think that's the best one for you. Very, very simple. You're not offending anybody. You're not asking for anything weird. You're just giving recommendations. You're showing people a way to make a better decision. We all know people are better off within our company and our services and using our products than without them. All right. So we know that. We know we have an amazing community. So we are helping them make a decision. So we're asking for the sale. That's what closing is. Right? Hey, yo, wasn't that a great call? And then you adapt this to however you express yourself or you speak yourself or you speak to a person. But that's the point. Hey, wasn't that a great call? Yeah. All right. What do you like best about everything you saw? I like the trading. I like the traveling. I like the dude. That's awesome. Those are amazing sources of income. Let's go ahead and get you started. Most people start with the Go package. I think that's the best one for you. Let's get it right now. All right. Let me know in the chat if this is simple. Put a number 1 in the chat if it's simple. If not, put a number 2. Put a number 1 if it's simple. Let me know. I want to know if you guys are if this is making sense. All right. All right. Perfect. Awesome. 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 See number 1. It's very, very simple. I'm not saying it's easy because sometimes for whatever reason people need to overcome some fears. I don't know. I really genuinely don't know what's scary about this, but this scares a lot of people. Okay. I'm helping you, right? I'm asking, what do you like best? I'm validating that. And I'm saying, hey, let's go ahead. Let's do it, man. You liked it? Let's do it. I'll help you. This is the best package for you. Super simple, right? Now, you're going to have 2 or probably 3 different type of answers to that. Some people are going to say yes. Okay, let's do it. Some people are going to say no. And that's when you start overcoming objections. All right. So you'll get a couple things. All right. You get a couple replies. Now, I want to tell you something. I want to add this before. If you're newer to the business, the best tool you can utilize, we talked about tools in the previous video, is the 3-way call. All right. Super simple. Why? Because you leverage somebody else's expertise, experience, results, and confidence, even in knowledge to help you close that person. So say I'm new to the business and I invited Aaron. Okay. So I invited Aaron to the Zoom call. I'm gonna call and I'm not texting, I'm calling people. Okay, you've seen me with my phone pretending that I'm calling somebody. So I'm gonna call Aaron and I'm gonna say, Aaron, wasn't that a great call? Yeah, it was great. Okay, awesome. So this is when I plug in my upline and that person who knows more than me, who knows better than me, who's got more experience, who's got more knowledge, more results, who's more confident. If I'm newer, I probably need that. I needed that and I used it a lot. And that's how I broke through 2 ranks. My first 2 ranks. I was just edifying everything, just like the previous video. And I was doing the 3-way calls in which you edify a person who's got results that can help you close your prospect, friend, or family member. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go and I'm gonna call Aaron and I'm gonna say, Aaron, wasn't that a great call? He's gonna say yes. All right. And I'm gonna say, awesome. I want you to meet somebody who's very special to me. His name is Brandon. He's been supporting me since I got started in this journey. He's got amazing results in this business, and he's somebody that I absolutely trust. I asked him for 5 minutes of his time, even though he's super busy. He said yes. So, Brandon, this is my friend John. John, or in this case, Aaron, right? Aaron, this is Brandon. And I just leave it there. I shut up. I don't say a word, and I just take notes so I can learn how to close and how to do it myself. The reason why I don't say a word is because my upline or the expert that I'm bringing on the call is gonna do what they know what to do. Okay, they're gonna close the prospect. Closing doesn't mean take the money away from them. It's like I said, obtaining a yes or a no, a yes, let's go ahead and get started, a no, hey, let's connect to this next Zoom call that we have, or let me add some more value to you, or let me answer your questions, all right? So those two things. So I let Brandon close the call. I don't say anything. I just take notes, learn, and then I can apply, all right? That's the power of a three-way call. And that's why this series of videos that we're making are basics and everybody can apply. Put a number 2 in the chat if you feel like you could apply this. You invite somebody to the presentation and somebody else does, all right? Somebody else presents the business for you. And then you call that person and all you ask, hey, that was awesome, right? Yes. All right. Let me introduce you to somebody who you have it in front of you. All right. And then we go, all right, awesome. A lot of feedback. That's great. Let me now show you something that it helps me so much. And it's helped me close a lot of people because of understanding the mentality that I like and that I use. Like I always tell you guys, this is what I use. This is what helps me. This is what I've learned from mentors. This is what I read in books. And this is what my experience is. And this is why I have my mentality. And this is what helps me close people and enroll people and help people in a better way. All right. So, and I want to tell you, a good closer is somebody that people want to work with. So get better at this. All right. If you close me in a good way, I'm gonna want to work with you. All right. Now, if you don't ask, you don't get, right? That's my mentality. We're talking about mentality right now. If I don't ask, I don't get. If I don't close, I don't get paid. All right. I get paid for people that I close into this business. All right. And I want you guys to start associating the word closing with helping somebody make the decision they're probably afraid to make. All right. Help somebody make the decision. They know it's best for them, but they're afraid to make that decision. I'm not saying pushing. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying help them see why they don't see. All right. I want you to know, I want you to acknowledge this. Do you guys agree with me? And you can drop a 3 in the chat if you agree with me that if everybody outside of this business, outside of our community, knew all the value that we know that we have in the community, in the services, in the trading, in the travel, in the everything, they would automatically, like this, get started with us. Yes or no? Put a number 3 in the chat if you agree with me. If you agree that people out there, if they knew what you know, they wouldn't even think it. They would automatically get into the business. All right. Let me check the chat real quick. All right. Awesome. 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 Yes. So they would do it. What does I say? It's just information that we need to give them. So closing is my job. I get paid for closing. I don't get paid for not doing anything. All right. I don't get paid for presenting. I don't get paid for inviting. I don't get paid for posting nice things on social media. Yes, that leads to the presentation, that leads to closing, but closing, that's my job. That's when we actually get paid. Now, my mentality is also, I've worked too much not to finish. What do I mean by that? I got enrolled, okay? I got out of my comfort zone and built a list of contacts. Then I got out of my comfort zone even more and started inviting people. Then I connected them with a presentation. Then I either presented the business or I let somebody else present. Then I made either a 3-way call or a closing call. I'm not going to leave it at that. I'm going to finish my work that I've been doing for probably a week. And then I'm going to get my customers, team members, and partners, and people who are going to be making money with me and are going to be making and being part of my community. All right. So I've worked too much not to finish, and that's why it's called closing. All right. I gave a lot. I gave a lot of value. I gave a lot of effort. I connected people with other people. I help people see an opportunity. I help people see result. Now that I did that, Now it's my time to ask, hey, pay me, right? Which is not pay me, but hey, you can get started over here. Let's do this together. So that's when you ask for the money. That's when you ask for the enrollment. That's when you help somebody make that decision. So I know this is my mentality, all right? This is the way I think. So what you're seeing is what's inside of my head. I'm responsible for the prospect making a good decision and join us, or missing out on an opportunity that is absolutely amazing. All right. In this call, there are people who have joined this business because of me or because of being in touch with me. If I had given up on you and not close or not even ask you or not offering you the opportunity, you would be missing out on all the daily value that we get in this place. All right. So think about that for next time you're going to close or you're going to present. You can be that person to somebody else. Now, I know that when I close, I'm helping. If I'm closing somebody, I'm helping that person. I'm helping them make a decision. I'm helping them get a better future. I'm helping them. At least I'm putting them in the right vehicle. They can make the decision if they want to join or not. But I'm doing my part as in showing them, hey, this is what you got. All right. Now, people join my business because they know I can help them grow their business. Why? Because if I'm a strong closer, not as strong like it's in pushing, right? But if I'm solid at closing, if I'm good at connecting people who can close, if I'm good at showing them, hey, I don't know yet how to do this business, but I have a ton of people next to me that are guiding me and are helping me on how to do this business. I don't know how to trade, but I'm surrounded by traders and we have a beautiful community where everybody's learning every single day. You can be part of that too. So if I'm that type of person, see, I don't need to be an expert. I don't need to be the closer. I don't need to be anything. That's why we have the three-way calls, right? Hey, I don't know this, but Brandon does, right? So I know that people see that in me and they know I can help them, or my people help them grow their business too, just like I'm growing mine. All right. Hope that makes sense. Hope that makes sense, because that mentality part is really, really important. Now, I'm going to show you guys something that naturally is going to come up, which is the objections. And I wanted to give you guys the mentality part before the objections, because this is something that when we have the right mentality, then objections are going to be way easier to overcome. Okay. So objections, we've all, I don't know if all, but a lot of us in this call have heard about this. I don't have time. I don't have money. I have to ask my spouse, my wife, my husband, my boyfriend, girlfriend, my dog, whatever. Let me think about it and I'll get back to you. That's a lie. All right. When they tell you, let me think about it and I'll let you know, just that's straight up a lie. Okay. Don't even think about it. They're not going to come back to you. Okay. So we're going to talk about this later on. But I'm not sure if I can do it. That's another one. I'm not good with technology. I'm not good with people. Looks like a pyramid scheme. I don't want to lose money. All right. All of those are objections. All right. All of those are things that you're going to hear every now and then. And you better get used to it, because let me tell you, overcoming these are pretty simple. It's not hard. It's easy to overcome this once you know how to do it, but most importantly, once you understand that they are all a lie. All right. The truth about objections, they don't exist. They're all the same. Okay. It's just lack of information. It's the people not being sure if they want to do it or not, if it's going to be worth it, not understanding clearly what the business is. So they come up with these things right here. I don't have time. That means I don't understand. I don't have the money. I don't see the value. I have to ask my spouse. I don't want to make a decision right now. Let me think about it. Same thing. I don't want to make a decision right now. I'm not sure if I can do it. They don't know that they can do it. They probably haven't seen that they have videos, trainings, everything for anybody to start from zero. So, and so on and so on, right? So it all comes down to lack of information. The person, the prospect needs a little bit more information, needs a little bit more of knowledge, needs a little bit more of exposure to the business, exposure to the material, and we gotta understand that. Okay, so agree with every objection. Whatever they tell you, say, I completely understand. I agree with you. I'm gonna tell you how to solve them, right? We're actually gonna do it on the fly. I don't have a slide for that on purpose, right? But we are gonna solve them by giving clarity, giving examples, telling stories, and telling them how they can do it actually, and how the objection is the reason why people should go ahead and do it. All right. And we're gonna do that either at the moment or when we follow up and further exposures to the business. So now that we go over here, okay, now that we know the truth about objections, and now that we know we need to agree with the prospect, be empathetic, and we are guiding the prospect to a better decision, this is where we start overcoming, right? I'm gonna do a training, like a complete training about this, but I want to show you something because I don't want to leave you just like this, all right? So say somebody tells me I don't have time. Awesome, man. I completely understand you. I'm a very, very busy person myself, so I know the situation you're on. And let me tell you, man, the people who are most successful in this business are the people who are busy. Why? Because they get stuff done. So the fact that you don't have time excites me because you have the opportunity to really take advantage of this. You have no idea how many people I have in my team that have 24 hours in the day and they don't take advantage of it, right? So I can get into that conversation with that person, and you guys can relate in this call. You guys know that you are probably busy, and the busier you are, the more things you get done, right? If you want something done, give it to somebody who's busy. Have you guys heard that? Probably. Okay, so that's true. And also, I want you to know that the objection is the reason why people need to do this. I don't have the money. All right. Well, the fact that you don't have $300 tells me that you need to do this so you can have $300, man, and that's not a problem. Now, I'm not gonna say that to somebody if we don't have certain type of rapport or relationship, or that if there's not that level of trust. But I'm gonna say, hey, no worries, man. I understand. I didn't have money either when I got started, but that was the reason why I said, you know what? I need to make some money. I have in front of me an opportunity to make some money. Let me go ahead and do it, right? And you can use your example. In my case, that was the case. I didn't have money, and that's why I started doing this. I didn't have money. I lost my job, so I tell my story, or I can tell them, hey, dude, you remind me of one of my most successful business partners. He started when he had no money, and now he is making X amount of money a month. He's changed his life. Now he's trading. Now he's doing this and this and this and that. Now he's being successful. You guys see where I'm going, right? See how everything's got a solution? You have to either you just gotta agree with them and give them a reason why their objection is the reason that they should do this. I have to ask my spouse. That's a very common one. That's somebody who doesn't want to make a decision right now, and they use a spouse to kind of defer that responsibility. Okay, so sometimes I ask him, hey, if your spouse says no, does that mean you would not do it at all? That's a good question. So if your wife tells you no, you wouldn't do it at all, or would you still do it? Well, yeah, I would still do it. Okay, well, then she's not, now I know she's not the problem. Now I ask other questions, like I said at the beginning, ask better questions so that I can find out which one is the real objection. All right. And I tell them, hey, okay, let's pretend she said yes or she said no. Oh, sure, go ahead and talk about her, talk to her. But what is it that you're kind of second guessing? What is it that you would like to know more about this? Well, you know what? It's about the product. I don't know how trading works. Boom. Now I can solve the real objection and I can give that person clarity. And now that person can think better and make a better decision based on what they decide. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if I can do it. That's super simple. No worries. Let me show you how. We have a step by step over here that shows everybody and anybody to start from zero and moving on. All right. So I'm not good with technology or people. Same thing. We just, it's just talking about it. Looks like a pyramid scheme. Hey, I totally get it. There's a lot of crap out there where they ask you for money and then they disappear. Well, over here, you have products, you have services that you acquire and you utilize in order to make money. All right. So that's not a pyramid scheme. I don't want to lose money. I don't want to lose money either, man. So if I were here to get you into something to lose money, then I wouldn't be ethical and I wouldn't do that myself. So no worries. I don't want to lose money either. I actually make money when you make money. So I'm gonna be here making sure that you're in the best position to make money. So again, this is just, let me know, guys, if this makes things a little bit more simple. Let me know if you're taking value out of this, because I just want to make sure that it's understandable. I'm not confusing you, because I'm gonna do a whole training on objections and closing. I'm gonna do a whole thing on how to handle and overcome objections. All right. Awesome. 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 Perfect. So now, lastly, golden tip is the following. The better the questions, the easier the close. The better the questions, the easier the close, right? You close by asking questions and letting the prospect tell you exactly what it is that they need, all right? If I ask good questions, I get good answers. They're gonna tell me what they need. And if I have that, I'm gonna tell them, hey, that's exactly what you're looking for. All right, this is exactly what you've been asking for. Here it is. If I ask good questions and I listen, then closing is gonna be easier, because at the end of the day, closing happens when you are able to solve the prospect's confusion, the prospect's doubt, and lack of information by providing them with the proper information